Junction, makes it on time, leaves Central Station about 8:45. It's Railroad Junction at 17:02 at 9:45. You know it's traveling again.
Hello everybody, my name is Papa Dan, and I'd like to welcome you to the first update or the first episode from the CCRS Railroad. And this is going to be a build, how I'm building my train layout. And I'll be doing updates along the way. I hope to make them at least weekly, maybe a little more often, but I guess that's going to depend on how much I get done during the week. So just a little bit about what to expect, and then I'll give you a tour of what I've got done here so far, which isn't very much, but we're starting at the beginning. This is not going to be a prototypical railroad. I'm more of a freelance type person. What I'm using for inspiration for this is two things really. It's going to be loosely based on, no key word there, loosely based on the Alaskan Railroad. My middle brother lives up in Alaska. He works for one of the cruise lines up there. And so he lives up there year round. And so he's been sending me back a lot of pictures, and in fact, part of the Alaskan Railroad goes right by his house that he stays at, and so he sees the train every day. So, and then the other part of it is going to be based off of these three videos that a real good friend of mine sent me. You know who you are, thank you very much. But the Anchorage to Fairbanks video, the Anchorage to Seward video, or Seward, sorry, and the Alaska's Gold Rush train. So I'm getting a lot of my inspiration from these three videos. So it's a U-shaped train table here in the room, and if you watch Steve Brown's videos from the YouTube channel, It's My Railroad, great channel, love that channel. But if you watched his live video yesterday, they got into a discussion on combining seasons on your train layout, and it was really very, very timely for me, because that's exactly what I've been planning on doing here. Most people think of Alaska as snow, extreme cold, and long nights for most of the year, and then the other part of the year is very long days, short nights. But I'm going to do part of the train layout as the kind of summertime Alaska, and then the other part of the layout as the wintertime Alaska. And so that discussion they were having yesterday was really right on topic for me. And I kind of have it in my head how I'm going to do it, but that's not to say things aren't going to change. So, as far as, you know, Steve Brown he's the regular guy. He's building his railroad the regular guy kind of way. And that's awesome. I love it. Myself, I'm kind of old school. To the guys from the modeling community that know me, that know me on a personal type level, you know I am not very computer literate, and not at all. I'm just an old 62, almost 63-year-old man, and computers just shot right by me and whew, went right over my head when they started coming out. So, I mean, I know very little about computers, and I know that there's a lot of programs out there that can assist you in laying out your track, but that wasn't for me. I went old school, and I knew what kind of track I wanted to use, which was the Bachmann Easy Track. And so I went out, I got a couple of packages, like a package of the straight track and a package of the curved tracks. And what I did was I traced out each piece of the track. Like there's a 10-inch straight, a 5-inch straight, one of the curved tracks, and then like a smaller piece of the curved tracks. And I just made a bunch of these. And then I just started playing with them on the table here, putting them end to end. And then kind of worked out my layout that I wanted. And then actually, this really helped me because it told me how many pieces of track I needed to buy, and what size, and what curves, and all that kind of stuff, and it was actually pretty accurate. So that's what I mean by old school. It may take me a little longer to get there. It may be a little faster to do it on the computer, but I'm kind of I have to see it, feel it, touch it type of guy, and this worked out really good for me. So, yeah, so you'll probably see me do a lot of things that on these episodes that you're gonna sit back and laugh and say, "Damn, what are you doing? Why are you doing it that way?" Well, that's just me. That's the way I do things. So. But please, as always, like on all my other model videos that I've done in the past, please leave a comment down below. I more than welcome comments. I encourage them, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, any ideas that you have for me, any suggestions that you have. I'm more than willing to, to listen and even try them. So one thing you may be asking yourself, and I'll answer this question right off the bat. CCRS. What is CCRS? Well, it stands for Captain Can't Remember blank. We don't use that kind of language here on this channel, but it's the truth of the matter. I have got to have the worst case of CRS known to man. I can't remember what I had for breakfast just 5 hours ago, let alone what I did a week ago or a month ago or what was told to me just 2 days ago or something. So I kind of thought that would be the perfect name for the railroad. Because I am definitely the captain of CRS. So that's what the CCRS stands for. And so let's look at the layout. So I'll try to keep the shaky camera down to a minimum so I don't make any of you seasick. But I'm actually standing out in the hallway so I can kind of give you an overview of the whole thing to start with. And like I said, it is a U-shaped train table. That side over there is a full 4x8 sheet of plywood, and this side over here is about 5 foot this way and just under 3 foot this way. I did leave enough room going all the way around the table so that I have access going all the way around it. And although I wish I had left a little more room, I was telling you once again that I'm old school, and that's just the way I do things. And I'm not, as of right now, I don't have any plans of doing DCC. Again, I'm going to be going old school, and it's just going to be DC. I've got 2 tracks, but they're completely separate tracks from each other. And so I'll have 2 controllers, one for each track. So just kind of starting on this side, since it's the closest one here to me, the short side of the U. This is going to be the summer side of Alaska here. And you come back and look into this corner. I plan on having a big mountain with a waterfall in this corner. And then as you can see here, as I got cut out on a little piece of paper, that'll be a lake that the waterfall is coming down into, coming into a small river, going over this way, and then off the layout. And then right here where you see right now, I've just got popsicle sticks supporting the track. But there'll be a small bridge right there going over the river. Then coming over this way, this will be the large side of the layout, will be the winter Alaska side of the layout. And this area right here where you see the track come out and then go back, this area right in here is going to be one huge, well actually this whole side is going to be one huge mountain range. As you all know, Mount McKinley is there in Alaska, which is the tallest mountain in North America, I believe it is. But anyways, it's going to be a lot of mountain ranges, and this track, the outside track here, is going to be going around the mountain range. I do plan on having the outside track here is going to be going into a tunnel going through the waterfall mountain. That'll be a tunnel there. And I'm not sure about this corner yet. I may have another tunnel going through the mountain over here. So just something that's kind of interesting, that I found interesting anyways, was that in Alaska, for every one person, there are 6 planes in Alaska, airplanes. That's a lot of private airplanes. So that's one thing that I'm going to try and represent once I get to the scenery stage, is how they use airplanes for their mode of transportation up there. The other thing that I found really interesting that I'm also going to try and represent on the layout here is the fact that in Alaska, they are the only state in the Union where you can flag down a train just like you would a taxi, and it will stop and pick you up. Because the train is the only way that people have to access their where they live. I mean, there are no roads going up to them, so the train is the only way that they have to come down into town and get their groceries and their supplies and everything. So I thought that was really interesting, and I'm going to try and kind of depict that also. So anyways, this is how far I've gotten. Obviously, bench work is done. I've got a 2-inch styrofoam base here, and then this is a 2% grade increase here. The risers from Woodland Scenics that I have going around the outside of the track, so that I could get the train up into the mountains. And that's pretty much where I'm at. It hasn't been glued down yet at all. I still have to do, in fact, just yesterday I got the last of the track that I needed to finish it. So I still have a little tweaking to do on the risers, so that I can get the track right in the center before I glue it down. So that's the next thing I'll be doing, is just getting the risers exactly where I want them with the track, and getting the risers glued down. Then I'll be taking the track off of the layout, and I'm going to start carving out my mountains, and then using the plaster cloth and some paper mache, and we'll start getting stuff covered so that we can start putting some color on this. Because I, for one, am looking forward to getting some color on this, instead of just looking at all this white. Although that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, since this whole big side here is going to be snow covered, but it won't be just white. I do plan on having a whole lot of trees and just rock faces and all kinds of stuff. So, alrighty, I know this video is getting kind of long, and I promise in the updates I'll try not to keep you this long, but I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of where I'm going to be going with this. So I hope you come back. If you like it, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and like I said, please feel free to leave your comments down below. Any suggestions that you have, any ideas that you have for me, I'm more than willing. I mean, I'd really like to have them. Alrighty, so thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next update. Bye.